Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is January 13th, 2019. My name's Eric Peterson. Joining me today, Mr. Dan Curtis.
Hello.
Mr. Tom Ragan.
Hello, people.
And Mr. Mike Tyson.
You know, Eric, what I want to start today's show off with after that intro, is sometimes I like to think that you do us in the order of favoritism, like from best to worst, each week. And me being last, well, we've got problems, buddy.
I think it just depends on who spoke last.
Me too. I just like to think it's favoritism.
I'm just happy that I said 2019 and not 2018.
What's Dan done so great this week that he gets to go first, huh?
I felt bad for him because he was really frustrated with us during the unwrap.
I gave him a little show on webcam earlier.
Oh, yeah. Watched him bang his head on the wall.
He likes them treats.
I remember back at school, I wasn't involved with this, but there was a guy who a group of my other friends had convinced him they were a girl on the internet and got him to end up masturbating on webcam.
Oh my god! That's pretty dark.
Yeah, it is. Like I say, thankfully I wasn't involved, but obviously he was teased about it for a long time. But he tried his defense of it all. He kept saying, "Oh no, I wasn't wanking. I was just rubbing it a little bit." Which I'm pretty sure is the same thing, and is also not a defense for just rubbing your dick out on the internet.
I'm pretty sure any rubbish is classed as it, but a couple of shakes at the toilet is fine, I believe.
Oh, I always heard that more than two shakes is a wank.
Well, then every time I go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I was going to say.
There you go. How are we all?
Flaring that thing around like a fire hose.
I sit and do meat spin with it.
Oh God, no meat spin.
You spin me right round, baby, right round.
I just sing Budgie the Little Helicopter and do that.
Yeah, but I thought you didn't use public urinals or urinals.
I don't. I find them very odd. I don't know why they're a thing.
That's really strange. What about when you need to go to the bathroom and you're in a shopping mall?
I will wait for a cubicle.
And will you sit down? Or
No.
just pee all over the seat?
No. I don't understand why people sometimes use cubicles and do not shut the door. Like, why not?
Oh, I do that sometimes.
Yeah. Make as much noise as possible.
Yeah.
I like to walk in, find the guy at the urinal, stand right next to him, make direct eye contact.
That's the thing. That's why I don't like it. It's just so awkward.
Prolonged eye contact.
Prolonged eye contact.
If you haven't seen the Bo Burnham stand-up, then you are missing out.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, you would love it, Mike. Contact. You would absolutely love Bo Burnham stand-ups.
Yeah,
I probably listen through his albums at least once a week.
I think I've watched, same. I think I watched his stand-ups multiple times.
Is it as good as ASMR?
Nothing's as good as ASMR.
Good point.
Yeah.
So I was out drinking last night and sort of getting to know a new group of friends through another friend that we already know. And the subject of David Hayter being on the show came up. And one of the guys who I met was like, "Oh, I've just downloaded that show now. I'm going to give it a listen tomorrow." I was like, don't take that show as like a perfect example of what Factory Sealed is actually like. And I was trying to explain to him.
We have never been more well behaved.
It was tough. We reined ourselves in.
I did get to say Edna put another tally on the whatever. On the special guest chart.
What?
That's we got him to say Edna put another tally on the special guest chart.
Oh, yes.
Edna.
I'm the same too whenever I recommend that show and people come back and they're like, "Oh, that was really good. That was so cool that you got David Hayter. I'm going to listen to the rest of them." I'm like,
no,
it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's even better.
Whoop whoop.
Let me ask you a question. How much do you enjoy penises? Because
There has been a lot of dick talk already this show. Jesus Christ.
getting ready for your trip.
Oh, it's so close.
Just a big old
I
sausage
can't
fest.
believe how fast it's come round. It's like,
Yeah.
Do you know what? Like, not only am I excited to come see you guys, but it's gonna be nice to have some time off because I don't think I've had any time off since when did I go to Lanzarote? September?
The smooth mobile country.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I haven't had time, so it's gonna be nice to have some time off work. To be honest.
I just had 2 solid weeks off.
me too. Going back to work was tough.
Ooh.
Yeah, my industry. I didn't get a big Christmas break, unfortunately.
Trucks ain't gonna drive themselves yet.
Deliver.
Exactly.
Hey,
God, I can't believe it. It's barely a week until y'all are here.
I passed probation at work.
Now you can slack off, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, do you do anything anyway?
Congratulations, Tom. You've made 16,000 cups of tea this week. You've passed your probation.
They didn't actually tell me. The way they told me was by my health insurance came through. So I was like, oh, well, I take it I passed then, because they wouldn't have given me that otherwise.
Does that mean we can injure you now when you come to Arizona? You're
Yeah,
insured.
I'm covered in the United States.
I should probably get some travel insurance, actually.
Yes, you
Yeah, you
probably
should.
should, Michael.
Yeah, because
Hang around
we won't cover your shit here.
Yeah, they
hang
don't
around
do
with
that.
you idiots.
They're a bit brutal over there.
It's
down where
real
Eric is.
expensive. I got mine for the large price of £9.
Oh, very nice.
We'll give you a Band-Aid, an Alka-Seltzer, and send you on your way.
Oh, man. I'm looking forward to that kicking in. The minute I taste that freedom,
I hope you're
it's
ready
all
for
going to be excitement from there.
Dan, what
Think
are
of
you...
the exact opposite of how I was in London, and you're probably going to be right.
Dan, question.
Hello. Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Question. What are you most
Yeah.
excited for in America?
Food.
Aside from all of the American flags, the Star-Spangled Banner, the bald eagles, the guns.
Eric, my friend, I'm going to be serious and say I am actually quite looking forward to seeing you.
Aw.
'Cause we don't see you.
Aww.
You may change your mind when you see me at the airport, though.
I know, I'm hoping to be
But I
drunk.
am-
The 11-hour flight
as a
across the
close-
Atlantic.
As a close second, what I'm looking forward to is, of course, the ceremonial unsealing of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Are you
That
bringing
game
the
will
sword
not
with
even
you?
be in the house.
Are you bringing the sword with you?
I would like to get to America without being strip searched. I don't think the ceremonial
You're
unsealing
gonna
sword
get
is going to
strip
come with
searched
me.
anyway. It's going to happen anyway. I'm
Yeah.
actually quite worried about going over because I've got.
Why have you got a sword up your ass?
You got some sort of like sordid past we don't know about, Tom.
No, I'm just worried because I'm a British citizen with a Canadian address, so I'm going to be. They're going to look at me a little bit. They're going to look at me twice.
Well, yeah, you look pretty funny.
Yeah, they're going to be like, "What's your deal?" Especially
What
in,
are you up
know.
to? Let's
Yeah.
go over to this dark room with a one-way mirror. I'm going to need you to unzip them pants.
Now, Mr. Reagan, we must ask you, are you a terrorist? Yes.
What are my choices?
Have you committed genocide?
What are my choices?
I think I committed genocide, but I'm not sure.
What's the threshold for genocide? Is it like 50 plus? Is it 100 plus? Like, I need a table here.
That's a good question, actually. I don't know what the threshold is.
To Google.
I'm planning on being drunk. I found out we get unlimited beer and wine on the flight from Heathrow to LA. That's
How do
11
you
hours
get
of drinking
that?
I can get in.
How do you get
It's
unlimited?
just part of the flight.
What?
Complimentary drinks on transatlantic flights.
Yeah, but
I
it doesn't
didn't
mean
know
you get
that.
them constantly.
Yeah, I don't
time
think
they
it meant
Complimentary?
alcohol.
No, it is. I checked.
It is alcohol.
I didn't get.
I
that
checked the
from
list. It's like I think it's tea, coffee, juice, soft drinks and beer and wine. You can't
Yeah.
get things like
When I went
spirits and
when I went to
Prosecco and
Australia,
stuff.
we had that, but you would only get it at designated times. It's not like you can just go, "Well, good woman, bring me alcohol."
No, you can. You on this? Just go, hello, beer,
Yeah.
please. Thank you. Beer, please.
Because-
Thank you.
Nice
American people-
lady, please bring me some booze.
Booze?
So I'm planning on being drunk. It's the only way I'm going to be cheerful after those flights.
That's fair enough.
So you guys land at like 12:30. You probably
Well done,
won't.
Mike. Good effort. Really good flights. Thank you.
You probably won't be out of the airport and in my car till 1:30 ish.
Yeah.
Home by 1:35.
Is it 5 minutes away?
It's not far.
Wow.
Yeah, I live really close. And then you can
Seeing
fully.
your house the day after will be a surprise because we'll just be so dead that we just won't even register it.
You'll be fully expect to be woken up by about 6:15 with kids because I have to wake up and take them to school. Actually, no, screw that. I'm gonna have Christy take the kids.
Actually, I forgot. We've got 3 hours in LA before our flight to Phoenix.
Get drunk.
Yeah.
You're going to have to, aren't you?
Yep.
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 Mike, what are you most looking forward to? Because you've never been to the States.
The food, for one, like Dan said.
Okay.
Seeing the American culture up close.
It's a fine culture, very refined.
No. Yeah, hanging with you guys is going to be amazing, and get like the first WWE pay-per-view I'm ever going to visit is the Royal Rumble, and that's going to be ace. Also, which for the listeners, Eric upgraded our seating, so
What?
we're even closer to the bundle action.
Yeah, so I decided to just look.
We'll have to
and-
hold Tom back.
Let me at him!
I decided to have a look just to
Foaming
see.
at the mouth trying to get to the ring.
Because bundle him, for fuck's sake.
Bundle!
I thought for sure this thing would have been sold out based on how quickly tickets were selling when I was trying to buy them. Because it got to the point when I first started to buy them, like, I just need to buy something because they were selling and I couldn't get anything. Like, yeah, let's just check and see. I think we paid like $50 for our seats way up in the nosebleeds. And when I went back onto Ticketmaster, I saw the original section that we wanted to sit in. Tickets were $36. Like,
I think these are actually better than the section we were originally looking at.
oh yeah, we were looking in the 200 section. These are in the 100.
Yeah.
So I called up Ticketmaster. I'm like, yeah, I want to change my seats because these ones are the same as those ones, and I want to change. And she's like, yeah, it'll be $10 per ticket change fee. I'm like, fine, whatever. I'll pay that. So it only been $60 to change all of us. And I said, well, can we get a 7th ticket just in case? Because Christy wasn't planning on coming, but I'd like her to come with if she could. She said, oh, yeah, if you buy a 7th ticket, it'll be $36 and I'll waive the change fees. I'm like, so even if Christy doesn't come, it's still just cheaper for me to buy a 7th ticket and just have an empty seat. Yeah. So anyway, we're like 20 rows
Might
from
need
the front.
that for our backsides after all the food. So
Yeah. We need to devise some signs to bring in, too. I think we need to just have a gigantic bundle sign. That'll be the easiest for viewers to spot us.
I told you what I want. It's been planned for months.
Did you order
Well,
it?
if there's 7 of us, if we all just have a letter of bundle each and then the last person has an exclamation mark, we can all hold up like a letter each.
Oh, yes!
That'd be awesome.
And every time someone gets
I
knocked,
hope we're on the TV side.
then every time someone gets knocked out of the Royal Rumble match, we all just hold up bundle.
The people behind us are going to love us.
Oh, man. I did order... I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I did order something very special for our festivities that weekend.
Yes, you have.
I'm quite proud of them.
You should be.
I'm surprised that we didn't
can't-
get hit with some sort of like, yeah, you can't do that.
It's fine.
So
You'll have Vince McMahon knocking at your door.
it's like, wait a minute, I need some royalties here.
You stole my t-shirt, goddammit!
Well, I'm going to edit that out. You just ruined the surprise.
You did a hint on the Facebook page which shows that it's at least that.
Oh, yeah, you're right, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't pay attention to what I say.
Clearly.
Really?
Huh?
Eh? What?
So I'll take you guys to get some real authenticin. Mexican food.
That's so dumb. I should have said it.
I know. Authentic Mexican food.
We're going to get the groundations of...
Groundation for the Authenticans.
I forgot about groundations.
I should start a construction company and call it Groundations.
You should start your own feckin' dictionary, idiot.
I'll call it Herb's Groundations. And my logo will be a basil
The
leaf.
vague American dictionary.
Yeah. You guys like it, you know it. So, yeah, it's going to be a good
we
week.
tolerate it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Wait, you guys come in on the 24th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to Mike's on the 23rd.
Ooh.
Yes.
You guys going to have a sleepover?
Yes,
A
I'm
bun-
bringing my PJs and my dream food.
Can't wait to play some Dream Phone with you guys again.
Don't forget your Pro Controller. You're going to need it for Mario Kart.
All right. I'm having a blanket ban on Robert Pie, by the way. It's not happening.
How about bullets?
I prefer not to have them.
We just eat bullets. We're going to have biscuits and gravy every morning. Like actual biscuits and gravy.
But Lucky Charms.
Well, yeah, you can put Lucky Charms on your biscuits and gravy.
God, you guys just put whatever on it, whatever.
I guarantee you there will not be any hard pucks of dead animal blood.
But hey, black pudding is delicious.
I am not a picky eater, and that's one of the few things in life I will not enjoy. I might even prefer
It's
durian.
delicious. It's fucking delicious.
Ugh.
What's delicious?
Fry me up that pig blood. Mm.
Oh,
Black pudding.
Yeah. Ooh. Very acquired taste.
Nah, I didn't like black pudding. Like.
Are you a black pudding fan, Tom?
Not so much, actually. Take it or leave it.
For a good slab of bacon, myself.
Certainly don't
Is
have
black
a
pudding
favourite.
more of a northern thing than a southern thing?
I think it might be, yeah.
Ooh, speaking of like north-south divide in the UK, so I'm going to question if you've heard this one, Dad. So I've got some family that lives in a place called Carlisle, which is kind of west of where...
the promised
yeah.
land.
Yeah, it's kind of west of from where you are, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah.
Kind of the same... They have all these weird things that they say that I've never heard, but my cousin's wife... Recently, she had a haircut, and apparently a very common phrase there for a haircut is a wig bash. Have you ever heard this one, Dan? You're being that
never
north.
heard that.
Don't go
loved
get my
it.
wig bash.
Wow.
She put hashtag wig
Imagine
bash
if the
for that.
hairdressers were called wig basheries.
She just put, I had a wig bash. I was just laughing my tits off of it, and she said apparently it's a very common phrase in Carlisle.
Bunch of weirdos.
Amazing.
It's so dumb, Eric should have said it.
Oh my god, I went to Urban Dictionary. I'm not going to read this out, but you guys owe it to yourself to read this.
As I always say after Eric says something like this, don't Google.
Oh, God. Well, the problem there is, Eric, you didn't search wig bash, you've searched something else.
Yeah, but it was I typed in wig bash, but wig beef came up.
Oh my god.
Tom,
Jesus.
you sound the poshest out of all of us. Can you, like, read this out as if it was, like, some sort of dictionary explanation? In, like, your...
Let's have a look here. Let's try it.
Do we really want our first show of 2019 to be about wig beef?
Well, that's it, isn't it? Wig beef. When a woman's hoo-ha is so smelly and unkempt, it resembles a tangled wig with grilled rotten beef.
I'm so bad at Google.
You're right there, Eric.
Wig beef.
We've lost him.
Oh my god, it's so stupid. Who thinks
I haven't heard him laugh this much as the Batman Forever video.
Particularly like the word hoo-ha in this context.
You've never had a hoo-ha?
Quite creative.
Wig beef, hoo ha ha.
Oh my god.
Good Lord.
Can that be the girl's team name?
Team wig beef.
Oh, God.
Go on.
Right, we've lost Eric for the rest of the show. We'll just crack on.
Why grilled?
Who would grill rotten beef?
There's so many questions.
Actual tears. Oh god.
You know that song, Wig Wham Bam? Can you change it to Wig Wham Beef? Wig Wham Beef.
Gotta turn a new leaf.
I gotta text this to Christy.
Careful, she'll come in with French toast.
Shabba for the wig beef.
We need to move on.
Yeah. That's
Welcome to Factory Sale in
in
2019, everybody. We have not changed in the slightest, as you can tell.
That was our New Year's resolution. Don't change for no one.
In fact,
Wasn't last year New Year, New Start?
Oh god, my head hurts.
How did you even find that?
Well,
Are
I
you
typed
trying to
in
look for
wig
Wig
bash,
Bash?
and it came up to Urban Dictionary wig bash to wiggeresque, and the second option was wig beef. I'm like, well, that seems exciting.
And you were right.
Oh man.
You okay, Eric? You good?
Yes, I'm good.
Normal.
Fucking wig beef. Did you guys ever have that when you were in school when your buddies would say something funny to you?
wig
Like it would
beef?
just tickle the right, just something, and the teacher
Yes.
would yell at you and you just couldn't contain yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Many a time. There's I always remember there's a really strict teacher at my school, and after breaks, she would always shout "stand still" on the playground, right? And everybody used to, as she turned round, used to move. It was one of the best. It was one of the best things ever. But I just remember one of my best friends at the time. Somebody had, Mike and Tom, you might remember these. Used to get miniature tubs of Jaffa cakes for Impact Lunch.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yes,
that.
and somebody had dropped one of them on the floor, and she looked at it, and she really angrily turned to everybody and went, "Who's had Jaffa cakes?" And my friend, just without missing a beat, stood behind her and just went, "Who's had Jaffa cakes?" And she went absolutely apeshit. I just laughed for hours. It was so funny.
That's brilliant.
But it
What
used to be
mistake.
a challenge to see how far around the playground you could get whenever she turned round. She was mental. Absolutely mental. Good times. There's Tom in the corner just bundling people.
Oh yeah, lunchtimes are the best.
I just couldn't wait for lunch every
But-
day. You'd
yeah.
pay people to go push other kids down.
Yeah, and never bundle on an empty stomach.
Like swimming.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't it the other way around? You shouldn't swim too soon after
it is.
eating.
Yeah. But I believe that is bullshit.
It is. Guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Actually, this is more or less directed to Mike because Dan and Tom
Hello.
didn't do it. Should we talk about their Resident Evil one-shot demo?
Oh, Eric!
It's Resident Evil 2, guys, not 1.
Well, it's implied.
Implied,
Resident
Eric,
Evil one
or
shot.
implode?
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, Resident Evil 2 demo. Get it?
Get it? Once?
So, if listeners don't know, Resident Evil 2 demo came onto PSN and Xbox Store Friday, wasn't it? You get 30 minutes to play through it. If you die, you can start again, but your timer keeps going, so you only get 30 minutes. Luckily, I got to play through it twice because I've got the PS4 and the Xbox now, so it was great. Yeah,
Fancy.
I can't wait. Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games ever. One of the most important games from my childhood, teenage years, I should say. And I've been a bit concerned about this because the trailers I've seen, it kind of looked a little bit like Resident Evil Revelations 2, which I didn't like. But after playing this, I'm motherfucking sold, man.
Oh yeah, you and I were talking a little bit about this, but yeah, I kind of had that reservation to it because anytime a studio touches such an iconic game, you're like, well, don't fuck it up, because you don't want to.
Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, you don't want to rewrite your memories of that game, but I think they're going to do this one justice. It's interesting. They've made some changes, design changes in some very small places, like the lobby.
They don't have tank controls anymore.
No, unfortunately.
I'm not interested then.
Like the lobby of the police station, they've changed it a little bit to make it obviously more conducive.
Well, to interrupt you
modern
for
game
a
design.
second, Eric, that quite a lot of that station has changed. I know the police station from Resident Evil 2 like the back of my hand, and
he knows that very well.
Oh yeah, and there's so many changes, and I'm thankful for it because I think going into this, it will not feel like a game remade. It's going to feel like a brand new experience.
But it's familiar
there's one section
enough.
where there was only 2 floors, but there's actually a 3rd floor to that section now, and things like that. And you do the main hall that you go in. There was always a certain door you went into on the left first before you access the other ones. You don't. You go into a different one first now and go and do a different area. It's going to be a completely new experience. It's not going to hang on its laurels too much on the original, I think, and I'm really, really thankful for that.
And of course, it's one continuous environment now, rather than these pockets of rooms. So if you go through a door, you're not necessarily safe.
Yeah, and the zombies come through the doors as well. It's genuinely terrifying, to be honest. Hazel was screaming when I was playing it because she kept making a jump. But one of the biggest things I want to comment on graphically with it is the use of light. It is a dark game.
Oh yeah.
And you played as Leon in the demo, and he has a torch with him. But the use of light, you can't see very much at all, and it just adds so much atmosphere and so much intensity as you're going through.
The graphics are superb. I have to say, I watched a couple of videos of it this week, and like the facial animation in particular is spot on.
There is a noticeable difference between the Xbox and the PS4 version. This is a game I will definitely get on Xbox over PS4.
Oh god, yeah. I wouldn't have believed it unless I'd seen it with my own eyes, but I played the Xbox One first and then the PS4 one second, and straight away as soon as I got in there, I said to Hazel, like, this looks much, much worse. And Hazel is shit when it comes to HD and all that jazz. Even she noticed. She was like, yeah, this, like, it almost looks kind of blurry, and like the colors are a bit more washed out.
Well, and where you can really see it is in the light shafts, and since the game relies so much on lighting, you're going to see a lot of the jaggy anti-aliasing and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I will be for sure getting this on Xbox One.
I'm still not sold on the new design for Leon. I think he looks a little bit too High School Musical-ish. Teen heartthrob.
I'm a little bit skeptical, but I kind of see what they're doing, because I always thought that Leon seemed a bit... Because he was supposed to be a rookie cop, wasn't he? Like, he'd just come out of the academy. Yeah. And I always thought that in Resident Evil 2 he seemed a little bit old for that.
Yeah, maybe it was a midlife career change.
I don't know, but I think they've definitely aged him the right level now. But yeah, it is a little bit strange. I think they've maybe babied him a little bit too much. His voice is a little bit whiny as well.
Yeah, kind of like they did with Cloud and Advent Children.
Yeah, that didn't bother me as much as it did many of the people.
I will admit that when I first hopped into the demo and got into... Because they start you right away in the police station. I wanted to immediately fall back on my knowledge of Resident Evil 2. I'm like, all right, here we go. I got to go to this door on the left. And I wandered around that opening lobby for a whole lot longer than I really wanted to. I'm like, well, this is fucking stupid. I was hung up on trying to solve that puzzle on the top. And then, because I walked over by the door where you're supposed to go, and I'm like, well, this is locked. I probably need a key for this, and just meandered away from it. I'm like, I should probably go check that again.
Is there any lickers in there?
You see it past the window. And it doesn't pop out. I was waiting for it to pop out where it normally did, and I'm kind of glad that they didn't do that, because it took away that, okay, I already know where this jump is going to happen. So when you pass it and it doesn't come out, like, oh shit, when's it going to come out?
Yeah, that's the thing. You go into that corridor thinking, fuck, like liquor's going to be in here, like you would before, and because obviously it's a different battle system now, different combat system, sorry, and obviously the enemies move differently. The liquors are just going to be harder, let's face it, than they were in Resident Evil.
Well, and I
2.
even told Christy as we walked into that room, like, wait for it, watch this. You're going to see the liquor go by the window here. They had to have done it. And we walked by, and she's like, I didn't see it. Yeah, neither did I. And you get into the next hallway, and you see one of the enemies that has been attacked by the liquor, and another one that's been hung up. So you know that the liquor had been through there, but you just don't know when it's going to pop out.
Yeah. But what I was saying before about how it's going to be a very different game, it's completely changing your perception. So you've got that fear from the knowledge of the original game, like going to that corridor, oh fuck, the liquor's going to be here, then getting that surprise that it's not there, and then like Eric said, you're then concerned about where is it actually going to be because they've changed so much.
The combat itself is super fast and fluid too. It's not, you can now shoot and walk at the same time.
Wow,
yeah, they brought that in on Resident Evil 6.
Jesus Christ, Dan, shut up.
It's like you'll be telling me Mega Man knows how to shoot up next. Oh god.
Oh Jesus, he can shoot up in 11.
One of the things they've added sound design wise that I like is when he's shooting the zombies, Leon will say things. So
yeah,
like
I was going to mention that too.
When he's shooting the female zombies, sometimes they just go bitch.
Well, I like it too when he's walking through those dark environments.
Isn't it?
He'll start talking to himself and hyping himself up.
Right in the wig beef.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it would be actual wig beef.
Oh.
Because they're dead and rotten.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
It's not grilled though.
Should I explain
Unless they've been through a furnace.
No, I like it when he's walking through the environment too. He'll psych himself up. He's like, "You got this, Leon. You got this," and like just kind of give himself a little pep talk.
Yeah, it's
Have
good.
you guys played the Resi 1 remake?
Yes, it's excellent.
Yeah, it's very good.
I think I downloaded it, never played it.
There is no point playing the original anymore. Like, it is the definitive way to play the original Resident Evil. In my opinion.
You can actually, I think you can switch to tank controls if you want to. In the menus.
It's tank controls as default, but you can change them so it's 3D controls. But the 3D controls don't necessarily work so great because it's still the static camera angles.
Yeah.
So when you move through them, obviously your joystick's in a weird direction.
Oh shit! Imagine when they get up to Nemesis. That's going to be an interesting game.
Well, I hear the rumors that if this does well, they're going to remake Nemesis.
Well, probably it will do well.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to do the whole.
But Mr. X is in too.
Yeah, well, I've seen him in the trailer.
Yeah, me too. And apparently, because of the way some people have concerns about it, because Resident Evil 2 is quite a slow-paced game, and because he kind of has the ability to run after you between doors and things now, it's kind of you have to be more on your toes kind of thing. So it will be a different experience, but not necessarily a bad one.
I wonder how they're going to handle the whole Claire versus Leon A story and B story, because essentially the original Resident Evil 2 was 4 games. You had all of Leon's campaign, all of Claire's, and then the reverse of it, so you got to see what Claire was doing while Leon was doing his campaign, and then vice versa. I wonder how they're going to handle
they
all
still
of that.
do that. I mean, the two ways I want them to do it, either there's 2 separate campaigns, and they just have, you do Leon's bit, Claire's bit, done, but they're both quite lengthy, or I want them to keep the original, where you can kind of do an A and a B for each character.
I think what they're probably going to end up doing is looping it together and just weaving it, so they take all 4 of them and just kind of make it a seamless.
Because I think, for me, you can't have it in a way where you switch characters momentarily through the story, because I think you'd forget where you've been in certain items because they have different puzzles.
Yeah, that's true. I'd like to see it where they give you the two campaign options.
Yeah, I really hope they do. I think this will be one of those games where I think it was on the most recent show I said I don't have time to replay games anymore. I think this is one of those I might do multiple playthroughs. But because I got to play the demo twice, the first playthrough I did it slow, was looking at everything, like really, really looking at everything. Got so far, time ran out. And then the second go on the demo, I pretty much speed ran it, like even skipping the cutscenes. And actually managed to find the hard stop of the demo where it just stopped, and I got there in 14 and a half minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, my first playthrough, I hit it in 21 minutes.
Somebody has apparently beaten it in 3.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw an article yesterday. I was like, what?
Was it you?
It was me. I turned it on and finished it.
Didn't even download it and he finished it.
Doesn't he
I'm
have
excited
PS4?
for it. So that comes out. That actually comes out the day you guys get here.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out while we're away as well.
Yeah. Oh man, two great games. I hope you guys are ready to watch me play both of them.
Nope, I'm going to sit in another room.
Well, no, like I told you, I have TVs in every room, and I'm going to put a distribution amplifier and lock the TVs on, so you just can't get away from it.
I will
Wrap
gouge out my
something
eyes.
around my face.
I will get you a
Mike
melon
went down
baller.
a darker path than me.
Ain't it always the way, Dan? Ain't it always
Yes,
the way?
It is actually, yes.
So you can't play as Claire in the demo?
No.
You just have to play as Leon. Okay.
That's sexist.
It is, isn't it? Oh dear.
Which
But no,
campaign did
if
you
you-
prefer, Mike?
What, on the original?
The original, yeah.
So, I always preferred doing Claire A, Leon B, because there's a lot of things in it that make sense. Like, the story just makes sense that way round than
Isn't
it does
that
the other way round.
canon way to do it?
Yeah, it's never been confirmed, but it's hotly debated that that's the canon way of doing it. Like, the thing of, if you play Leon A and Claire B, like the end of Claire B, spoilers for a fucking really old game, everyone, but Ada comes at the end and throws a rocket launcher to Claire and she doesn't know who she is, whereas if you do it Claire A, Leon B, for example, at the end, Ada throws the rocket launcher to Leon and he obviously sees that she's still alive.
So it's
And
something
things
I
like
need
that,
to go
says
back
things
to,
like-
because for the show, I think I only had time to do one of the A scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
And-
I would recommend story-wise, Dan, is do Claire first and then get Leon's B scenario. The storyline just makes so much more sense that way around.
So I think I played as Leon.
Yeah.
So
I like playing as Leon, but Mike is right. Claire's the better choice. Did you guys, Mike? Did you watch way after the trailer, or even after the second trailer? There was a hidden one where like something come in. This is Hunk, and then it shows the big wad of tofu running through the sewers.
Yeah. So I can't believe they're bringing Tofu back.
Oh, he's so funny. I don't even remember the criteria that you needed to get.
I think you had to get
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
an S rank on both
an
scenarios.
Exploder cheat cartridge is what you're looking for, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Which to get S rank, you have to you can only do a certain amount of saves. You can't use any first
Here we
aid
go.
sprays.
To unlock the tofu scenario, you must have unlocked the fourth survivor and cleared the Leon A, Claire B storyline 3 times with an A ranking.
That's it. Yeah, because full survivor is Hunk. I was never able to beat Tofu. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I
all
was
he has
never
is the
able to get
knife. I've played it. I did use a cheat cartridge to get to it, access it once, because I didn't have the patience to unlock it, and yeah, I wasn't able to beat it.
After 3 playthroughs, if you unlocked it properly, would you want to play as Tofu again? I don't know.
He's only got a knife and a few
Then again,
herbs.
back in the day, I used to just replay Metal Gear Solid over and over again. So
Yeah,
Yeah. Same.
every cutscene, watch every cutscene, every codec.
I mean, I could complete it in about 30 seconds, so... you got to get that longevity out of it, you know?
Has this been addressed on the show, or has this just been on WhatsApp?
No, this is a new thing that's just been adopted since 2019 began. This lot are now convinced that I can finish games just by looking at them.
Dan will have Kingdom Hearts 3 done before it launches.
Just we'd be on WhatsApp and Dan would be like, "Yep, finished this today." What? That's like an 80-hour game, Daniel. You only started it yesterday morning.
Well, we kind of touched on it on the Game of the Year show when Tom called him out for just casually slinging 50 hours into Ni no Kuni 2.
And not putting it on his top 10.
Good God.
We're also convinced as well
Child's
that
play, Thomas, child's play.
we're also convinced as well that Dan has been playing VR so much that he actually just lives in virtual reality now and doesn't know the difference.
I'm not convinced this is real. to be
Crystal's
honest.
moved out. He's just sat in a decaying bedroom.
Slowly turning into Gollum.
My precious.
Guys, should we get to the game of the week?
Game of the week.
Is that going to be new this year?
Please no.
Optician's joke of the week.
Get it of the week.
Inappropriate comment of the week.
Telly joke of the week.
You're an idiot of the week.
Are you done?
Mega Man of the week.
Of the week.
Nobody wants more than one wig beef.
What did we play, Eric?
We played Ace Combat 4 Shattered Skies, or
Distant Thunder.
it doesn't even have the number in it. It's just Ace Combat Distant Thunder.
It's fashionable now, though, isn't it? They don't do it with movies anymore, do they?
Yeah, I guess not. But they kept doing it for the States. They had 5 Belkin War and then 0, and
I think they should have called it Ace C4 Mbat.
What?
You know when they put numbers in the middle of words and it's terrible.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Driver 3.
They should-
Driv 3er!
Driving for the third time.
Back in the driver's seat. Let's not get down this road again. Plane driver.
Wait,
That was one of my all-time
self-control?
favorite shows. I loved the Driver episode. So funny.
Yeah, Ace Combat 4 Shattered Skies. First one to hit the PlayStation 2 in 2001.
Eric,
What?
why haven't we done the first 3?
Because
That's a good question.
they're not any good.
Are they really bad? Are they on PS1?
They're good. I actually popped in a little bit Ace Combat 3 Electrosphere. But
I think my only history of Ace Combat, I think I played a demo of Ace Combat 2 many moons ago on the PS1.
Electrosphere.
Yeah, Electrosphere. Well, it started out as Air Combat.
It sounds like a disco game.
Yeah.
Started out as Air Combat in 95, then it switched to Ace Combat 2, then Ace Combat 3 Electrosphere, then 4
Ace
Shattered
Combat-
Skies, 5 Unsung War.
Ace Combat 4 is by far the most popular.
6 sweaty flaps.
Yeah.
And it also sold quite a lot of copies, actually.
2.6 million.
Yeah. Actually, they all did pretty well up until, the later ones on the PS2.
Supposedly, Ace Combat 4 has a Metacritic score of 89 as well.
It's a fantastic game.
IGN gave it a 9.1 out of 10.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Now, disclaimer before we start. I had absolutely no interest in this game at all before I started. But actually, after finishing it, I had a decent time. I think it was okay.
So this is
That's a
one
wrap,
of-
gents. End of the show.
Yep, done. This is one of those games from my childhood that just kind of sticks out. It's not, I don't think it's anything super unique or anything, but just when I think about games that I played a ton as a kid or in high school, Ace Combat 4 is one that I just revisited constantly because it's a short game. I mean, I beat it this time with under 3 hours on the play clock, and I just would continually go back to it because it's just easy to pick up and play. But
I'm surprised it's a game that you can play, Eric, because it has quite a complicated control scheme.
well, here's the thing.
Did you skip the tutorial as well, Eric?
I did, mainly because I knew how to play it. I had years of
I
practice.
wanted to skip the tutorial because it took fecking ages.
Why did you do
Oh,
it then?
did.
What? Because I didn't know before I did the tutorial. And I needed to do the tutorial because I'd already went into the game and like, oh dear, I just crashed into the sea.
Don't you know how to fly an airplane? Up is down, down is up, bank and then pull down, and you can turn.
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, you don't know how to fly planes. do
I
you?
was adamant that I was going to play the tutorial first because, as I said a moment ago, my only experience of Ace Combat is a short demo on the PS1. But that short demo of Ace Combat 2 is also my only experience playing an aeroplane game, I think.
Yeah.
I think whoever did the sound mixing for Ace Combat 4 though needs a good slap.
Why?
In the cutscenes, the music is so much more louder than the.
Oh yeah, if they didn't have
Guy's voice.
subtitles. you
Yeah,
couldn't-
because the guy whispers. So what a dumb storyline as well.
I don't think it's okay. So here's the story of it. Ace Combat always takes place in. There's always some fictional war raging, and there's supposed to be political undertones. Bullshit. You're just blowing stuff up in the sky. Essentially, the game is done in what's called single. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Single cell cutscenes or something like that. They were done like that because of the production budget for the game itself. So they're like, well, we got to cut this down and pare it down. So essentially, the story is told through 12 narrated pictures as their cutscenes, and it follows the story of a little boy whose parents are killed in this war when an airplane gets shot down and crashes on their house and kills him. He just happens to be out riding his bike at the time. Since he doesn't have family to go to, he heads into town that's being overrun by these enemy forces and starts taking up at a bar with these enemy fighter pilots and kind of becomes buddy-buddy with them. And there's this enemy fighter pilot called Yellow 13 who's kind of the ace of the enemies, and he becomes kind of a father figure to this little boy.
Is he related to Red 13 from Final Fantasy VII?
I don't think so, because this guy's
Does
a
he
human,
have a tail?
and 13's a dog. Maybe distant cousins. So this guy becomes a father figure towards him, and then in between, when you're actually playing the game, you're playing as the other side. So you're playing as the good guys, and Yellow 13 is the ace of the bad guys. And you, the pilot, Mobius 1, are the ace of the good guys. And you're doing these different missions that then, as you complete those, you get to see through the storyline or the narration how that's having an effect within the liberated city and what's moving on through there. And towards the end of the game, you end up facing off with Yellow 13 and killing him, and then that has an effect on the little boy. The little boy writes, he continues his narration. You discover at the end of the game that the entire thing was just a letter to Mobius 1, talking to him about how what he did affected the boy.
Yeah. See, for me, what I thought would make more sense is if the kid that it was would be Mobius 1. And that's what I thought all the way through. And then
Well, how could that be?
Because the war could have been for a very long time.
But then it wouldn't have made sense that... Okay, yeah.
Well, it would have done if they wrote it that way, which would have made more sense and made it better, because then you've got a reason...
Well, then by the time that he got old
Yellow
enough to
13.
shoot down Yellow 13 would have been 85.
Not really.
Yeah, but
Late
Red
50s.
13's race lived for a very long time, so maybe Yellow 13 does as well.
Jesus.
Shut up, Mike. I still think that would have made more sense, because then you would have had a grudge to go against, whereas you were just this anonymous
But see, he
Mobius
didn't have
character who does not speak.
He didn't have a grudge. Yeah, he was upset with Yellow 13 for shooting down the plane that killed his parents, but he also then began to see that this guy had a heart and that he was very sympathetic to the people around him and his squad mates, Yellow 4 and all those other people. He cared about them and they cared about him, and he saw this other side of the war. And, when push came to shove, he called him a fascist pig and told him to get out of town when the war started to shift. And he saw that, oh, hey, we may be liberated, but still, I don't think he had a grudge against him.
Yeah, but there's a narrative jar there, because then you're Mobius 1, who has nothing to do with it, and then you just shoot him down unceremoniously. He doesn't even have dialogue in the mission.
Neither does Link, and he's one of the most popular video game characters of all time.
Yeah, but he's not the protagonist. I'm saying the antagonist should have some dialogue, whereas it's just generic Yellow 13 dialogue, which you've heard all the way through. It makes no sense.
I think it makes plenty of sense.
Back me up, Mike.
I'll be honest, I completely zoned out on the story bits of this game. Like, just I don't know why. Every time one came on,
Then
I
shut
just
up,
kind of
Mike.
went blank. And then, I only finished this game like half hour before we were due to record, and
So did I.
So the last few cutscenes I skipped just in the trying to get it done.
I thought Mobius 1 was the kid that was the narrator.
No.
That's what I'm saying. It isn't.
Yeah,
It makes no sense.
Okay,
It should be.
that's really weird.
Did you know that some of the those scenes were edited for international versions?
Yes.
Yeah, so like on one of them, a knife and a pistol is shown with the narrator saying, "I got a knife with the intent of using it against Yellow 13. I even lifted a pistol off a drunken enemy soldier." Apparently that bit is removed entirely. There's another one where this girl is wielding a shotgun, but in the international version she's not holding anything. And then there's another one where the boy confronts Yellow 13. He has a pistol with him, but apparently he's just standing there defiantly with his hands on his side on the US version.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for a game which is about aeroplanes blowing things up,
Well, there was a Japanese TV commercial that was scheduled for release on September 12th, 2001, that was postponed, obviously, after the September 11 attacks. And Namco then had to change an image that was published on the Japanese website of one of the sinking of the battleships within the game, because there was smoke that was coming off the ship that was in front of buildings that looked like the Twin Towers in New York. So instead, they just removed the buildings.
Oh yeah, I suppose I haven't put two and two together with the year
and then
have I? I've just realized
one of the directors, 10 years afterwards, was commenting on his experience with altering video games for political consideration within the gaming industry, and how the September 11th attacks had a massive effect on that. And
they had to do it
well,
on
look at Metal Gear
3
Solid
quite
2.
heavily.
I'm sorry, what, Mike?
I said, well, look at Metal Gear Solid 2. They had to cut out the whole of Arsenal Gear smashing into the city.
Yeah, well, also with Spider-Man 2, when it came out, they had a promotional image, this is for a movie, I think, where he had webbed up a helicopter between the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
In GTA 3, they had to heavily do that. They had to change the colour scheme of the police vehicles and all kinds of things.
Yeah. Huh. So much.
I think there was a cut mission they took out as well, which was involving bombs.
The Neversoft, I've mentioned this on the show before, I think it was actually on the Spider-Man show, the Neversoft Spider-Man 2 game originally fought Electro on top of the two towers, and they had to quickly change that. They re-released it very quickly where you're just on top of one tower as well.
So this game itself was initially designed to be a reboot of the Ace Combat series. They were tentatively going to call it Ace Combat 1. There's a slogan that's associated with the game called "It's changing everything again."
I wonder if that's why it's titled differently over here, like without the number.
It could be.
A lot of PS2 games used to be retitled over here, though.
Oh,
I don't understand why.
Here's the note I had about the storyline. It's called Single Frame Side Story Concept. Was originally conceived as a cost-effective means of showcasing storyline after the large costs of animated cutscenes from Ace Combat 3 proved too expensive to be afforded again.
It's so expensive. I want to buy some groundations, but they're too expensive.
Here's that image that they altered. Oh wait, no, that's Wig Beef.
God. Wig Beef strikes again.
God damn you, Wig Beef.
Is that new villain in the Carmel Cran saga?
Oh God.
Curse you, Wig Beef!
There you go. So behind that boat, there were supposed to be two buildings that look like the Twin Towers.
Okay.
Edit that out. So, missions. There were 18 total missions in the game. Some of them a little bit more exciting than others. The basic gist of it was you have a series of targets, whether they're ground targets or air targets, that you have to destroy. Some of the missions were get this many points within the allotted time limit and then continue fighting afterwards. So certain targets would have a certain value to them. Kind of rinse and repeat, but then every 3 or 4 missions, maybe every 4 or 5 missions, there was a really cool mission that would kind of keep you hooked into it. I don't know. I thought the missions were varied enough.
Yeah, I thought it was quite repetitive when I first started playing it, but as I got a bit further in and started getting a bit of a better grasp of the controls and having a bit of fun with getting better planes and things like that, yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
See, what I thought about it was repetitive in places, but one thing I want to mention with the controls and the way the visuals are with that, when I first started playing this, I said to you, Eric, like, it seems a bit slow, and I never felt like you got that sense of speed with this. Like, obviously, you're flying a fighter jet, and I know, obviously, you see the buildings and you fly past them and everything like that, but I don't know. It still felt, the entire thing kind of felt very slow to me, considering you're flying.
So I was thinking about that, too. I think that's a limitation of the PS2. What they wanted to do was show, okay, we have these huge open environments that you can fly around. And as a result, everything needs to be very small and very grainy. And when things are far away from you, you're not going to get that perception of speed. Even when you get down really close to the ground, you don't really get that insane perception of speed. But if you play the later Ace Combat games like Skies of Liberation and Assault Horizon, you get that insane sense of speed because things are more populated. So unfortunately, yeah, you're right. If you're way up in the sky, you're not going to get that crazy sense of speed, especially if you're tailing around dogfighting somebody. Kind of looks like they're just hanging in the sky.
Depth perception and realizing where you were and things like that, for me, I think what I struggled with it originally. Like, for example, you might be up in the sky and then you forgot if you're upside down or not, and then you end up trying to redirect yourself and get a bit confused. And there was a few times I've crashed into mountains and things because I thought I was moving enough to get out of the way, and then I wasn't, and things like that. It's quite.
Did you ever use the autopilot button to rebalance yourself, Dan?
I did, but then I forgot what it was.
Oh, it was up on the D-pad.
Oh yeah, because I played it last week and then I came back to it like yesterday, and I was like, oh, I can't even remember what it is. And then I'd got the hang of it by that point, so I was all right.
Yeah, it does a great job of simulating flight. Obviously, there's better games out there. Like if you're looking for a true flight sim, this is definitely more arcade style, but you can still employ a lot of the same maneuvers that you could in flight sim games and be successful with it. So,
going back to the controls a sec, I was impressed that they actually used the pressure sensitive analog buttons.
They used it on the thrust too.
Yeah. So, but the thing I found weird, because you used R1 to accelerate, and the harder you held it, the quicker you would accelerate. And if you held it hard enough, you'd get the afterburners would come on and you'd accelerate much quicker. But I don't know if it's my PS2 controller or whether it's just the actual game. But man, I had to push that thing down to actually get the afterburners to go. Yeah.
I think it depends on the plane.
Some of them have better
others,
speed ratings,
but they're really hard to read in the menu.
Yeah, so the menu design is really bad. Everything is like a light blue text, and then the background is like this brilliant Michael Bay lens flare white.
Yeah, and I was just like, I was squinting at it, and I was like, is that plane better than the one I have?
Well, then you have to wait for because the camera is doing like this parallax thing where it's slowly moving around. You just have to wait for it to catch something darker in the background so you can see. It's really bad.
Did you guys play it in first person?
Yes.
I did most of it in actual cockpit mode this time.
So I played third person entirely.
See, and I think that's doing it a little bit of a disservice because you lose out on a lot of the HUD stuff.
I found it a lot easier.
Yeah, you would have been able to figure out your upside down and stuff a lot easier, Dan, if you were in first person.
Yeah. Because when you're upside down, the arrows on your HUD flip, and you can tell.
Yeah, I wanted to play in third person. I don't know why. I just wanted to, but after kind of failing the first mission, I went back to the normal first person view. I couldn't do it in cockpit view. It just takes up too much of the screen.
Exact opposite for me, Mike. I started in first person, crashed spectacularly, and then went to third and found it lots easier.
Interesting.
See, I guess if you guys have never really played flight sim games,
no,
I could
this
see
is the
that.
first.
I know.
Apart
Eric,
from that demo,
remember when we used to play
game.
Battlefield, and I used to struggle with flying the jets. This is probably why, because they have weird controls. So when I started playing Battlefield, I couldn't fly a jet.
But you're Mr. Inverted Directions, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's the weird pressing left and then pressing up to turn round and things like that. It's really
Wait,
odd.
did you change it? Did you freaking change it so up goes up and down goes down?
No, I mean down. I mean down.
Okay, I was gonna say, wait a minute here.
Eric was about to have kittens then.
But that's how you fly a damn plane. You roll your plane to the left and then pull down on the stick to turn.
Excuse me, mister. I've got millions of flight experience. I've never flown a plane, mate. I don't know.
So, disclaimer.
I can drive a car. I've never flown a plane.
I think that's. I think I've said that before.
Why don't you tell me how to put a spaceship in Space D as well while you're at it?
Well, here's what you do to put it in Space D.
Tell me how to put me plane in P. Come on.
Growing up, that's all I wanted to do is be a fighter pilot. So I played a ton of flight sim games as a kid. So maybe that's why.
I'm pleased you didn't.
You almost made it.
I almost made it. I walked in to sign up and asked them some few pointed questions like, here's what I want to do. I don't want to be shucking corn. I don't want to be peeling taters. I don't want to fly a cargo plane. I want to fly that there fighter jet and shoot missiles.
And they
I'm
said,
sorry,
"Drive this
Mr.
school
Peterson,
bus
we would
first."
accept you, but you're an idiot. So out you go.
Yeah. But no, I got denied from the military.
They started you off on the school bus.
Yeah.
I hear if you sign up to flight school, you get a year's supply of bagels.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to fly that there jet, so I had to live vicariously through my video games.
Going back to the interesting missions, though, the first one I remember that stood out to me was the one with the fortress.
Which one was that?
Mission 10, I think it was, where it's like got the natural fortress, and every now and again you have to go below 2,000 feet because Stonehenge, which is their big.
Oh no, that was mission 3, or I'm sorry, mission 7.
No, that's the one where you have to stay below in the.
Oh, the first time you see Stonehenge. So Stonehenge is this gigantic cannon that can fire long distances.
Weapon.
Yeah,
It was made to shoot down asteroids, which were going to destroy.
no, that was
Earth.
megalith.
Was it?
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge was asteroids as well.
Yeah. Megalith is built to replace Stonehenge.
Got it. So
Fucking hippies.
they discovered its potential for war, obviously, as humans do, and started using it to fire ordnance at really far away targets. And it would just obliterate an entire area. And it would blow up in the sky. So if you were above 2,000 feet, it would basically destroy you. So the first time you come across it, you're blowing stuff up in this kind of a ravine area. And they're like, hey, shit, this is coming in. You need to get to below 2,000 feet. And the plateau at the top of the ravine is like 2,500 feet. So you have to actually fly down into the ravine. And it's like that scene from Independence Day where Will Smith is flying his jet with the UFOs chasing him through the Grand Canyon. Very similar to that with some tight corners and turns. Super cool.
Yeah, and sometimes when we're playing games for the show, if it's not a very interesting one for someone else to watch, like Hazel really struggles. Like she found this deathly boring, like really, really boring. She was watching me do some of the levels, and the ones where you're just basically getting scores within a time limit, you know, she kind of zoned out. And then like once I got to that one where you had to stay in the valleys for ages, she was like, this is literally the first time this game's been interesting. But it is a few missions after that one.
If only she could do other things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess. But you know, she likes spending time with me.
Really?
Yeah, I know it's not quite like that in your house, but
Ouch.
And we do spend a lot of time together, actually.
Then how do you beat any of these games?
exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Because she sends me off for an hour a night when she watches the soaps.
There is no way you beat this many games playing video games for an hour a night. I play games an hour a night. I probably play games for an hour and a half a night.
I've had all of the Christmas break where she's been back at work and I haven't.
I don't know, Daniel. I think there's something fishy. I still don't believe Crystal exists.
She doesn't exist.
Yeah, there you go.
And this could all possibly be in virtual reality, so...
Could be. I liked Mission 11, though, too, Mike, where you had to start escorting the civilian plane.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So something that's kind of neat about this is that there's constant radio chatter. And, yeah, some of the stuff gets a little repetitive, but there's story bits that are being dropped.
Fox 2.
Missile shot trashed.
Yeah, rub it in, mate. I've just used a missile and missed him.
So let's talk about that for a
God, you
second.
miss all the time, man, the planes. It's so irritating.
Well, not if you're good and you line up behind them.
Well, they still
right.
move.
Bringing up the radio chatter, how come on the very, very, very last level, when you're facing Monolith, why does Michael Caine suddenly come over the radio?
Oh, God, what was with that guy's accent?
He just suddenly like, yeah, we can't get the sub-control door open, Master Bruce.
I thought he sounded South African. For a minute, I thought I'd done the voice acting because it was so inconsistent.
I'm sure it was him. Why do we fall, Master Bruce? Because we've been hit by a bloody missile.
Have they taken out that generator yet?
Master Bruce, fly your plane over to Monolith. Yeah, but where did he come from? Why?
Master Bruce.
Because if you listen to the briefing that you probably skipped, they said
No, I listened to the briefing, so I knew what I was doing.
there was a ground force going in, and they couldn't complete their objective till you had destroyed the generators. So therefore,
it's a very
he's
sad idea when Eric Peterson has listened to something and we haven't.
But why was Michael Caine with them, and why wasn't he there the rest of the game?
Because he's a ground force guy.
Could they only afford him for one level? Is that it?
Was it really Michael Caine?
No, it wasn't, but it sounded like him.
If he was South African.
I don't know,
You
you
just
hear-
did it with an Australian accent.
You
Suppose
get,
it's the only accent
radio
you know.
chatter from ground troops throughout the game.
Yeah, but not him.
Some men just like to watch planes burn.
What they should have done is if they wanted a Cockney, they should have got Ronnie Pickering. That's who they should have got.
Ronnie Pickering's northern.
I'm gonna say he's northern as hell.
But we always do him
You just
Cockney.
you just always give him a Cockney accent for some
I know,
reason.
because it's funny.
That sounds nothing like our impression.
Yeah, well.
Master Bruce,
like
it's
to
Ronnie
watch the
Pickering.
world
He's at the door.
Pickering 1, Fox 2.
He said you drove past him in the Batmobile. Wanted a bare knuckle brawl with Batman.
He's quite good at the old Michael Caine, isn't he?
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah, not bad.
It's good.
First time I've tried.
It was only supposed to blow the bloody plane up.
It's only supposed to be a bare knuckle brawl, Ronnie.
Oh, wait, Eric, do you Michael Caine?
No, thanks.
No, thanks.
So anyway, yeah, go on. Voice chatter.
I don't even remember where I was.
You were on, but you were just saying that you hear voice chatter, and then you started saying, and then we all started doing impressions of it.
I think that's all I was going to say.
Okay. I like the way that you hear the enemies chatter, but all the enemies chatter are quite obviously like they give them kind of English accents and are obviously bad guys.
With mustache twirling and everything.
Exactly.
Like,
Well,
why
what would
can
you
hear
prefer
their
them to
things?
be?
Shouldn't they be blocking that? I think they've missed a trick there.
Yeah, maybe that's why they lost the war.
Bend it on my tail.
But going back to that last level as well, the Michael Caine level.
Michael Caine Star Wars level.
Man, do they rip off Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You have to fly through some vents that the plane only just fits in to go and blow up some generators, to then go into another vent to blow up the core. Gee, I
fucking
wonder where I've heard
awesome.
that before. In the
was-
giant death machine.
It was awesome.
It was pretty good, actually. It was fun. But it was the nice epic music as well. It really kind of set the scene for it.
Well, I think what was really cool about the game itself, though, is if you were paying attention to the story beats and all of that, towards mission 15, I think, there's only 18, but 15 is like when the tide of the war really starts to change, because you're flying over the city where the narrator lives, and you get this impression that the ground battle is really tense, and you're lending support from the skies and helping push back the front line. And
Is that the one where you start going into the city and you have to blow up the bridges and stuff?
Yeah, and you hear the people on the ground start talking like, the plane with the ribbon, is that Mobius 1? And it kind of like invigorates the ground forces, like, hey, Mobius 1 is in the skies above us, and then they start pushing forward, and you kind of get the sense that
Hey, where was this ribbon? I didn't see a ribbon.
It says it in the first part of the game. He talks about the plane with a ribbon on it, and that's your plane.
But it
It's
doesn't
so you don't get any
doesn't
status
have a
effects.
ribbon on it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have one. Where is it?
Oh, Jesus, Dan.
Where
Pay
is
attention
it?
to the story.
I did. It doesn't have a ribbon on it.
But the narrator says that there's a ribbon
Well,
on
he's
the plane.
lying because it doesn't
They
have one.
they should have had Michael Caine do the story narration. I would have listened to it then.
Instead of this guy who whispers really, really quietly.
And I went down into the bar, and the bartender's daughter, blah-de-blah, blah-de-blah, blah, blah, blah-de-blah. It's that NPR voice again, isn't it? Has your family been killed by an elite squadron?
Could be entitled to compensation.
Did a plane fall on your house? Join
Take it from me, Michael Caine.
Did you have PPI?
What was I going? Oh, so one cutscene that I thought was really fucking stupid was after you
All of them.
shoot down Yellow 13. So the Yellow Squadron shows up occasionally throughout the missions, and they get progressively easier to engage. So the first couple times they show up, they just have you book it and leave the mission. Yeah. Second time
they're
they show
essentially invincible as well, aren't they?
No, you can shoot them down. You just have to be super good.
Because I thought it was a bit of a story beat, a bit in one of the later levels where you actually finally to beat one, and then that becomes a story thing. Because when you start the next level, then someone goes, "Oh, is he the guy who took down Yellow? What's his face?
Yellow 4."
Yeah, that's what I said.
Is he related to Red 13?
So then,
so I thought it was a story beat because I remember one of the levels, I ran out of time because I was because on the actual radar, depending on the color of the enemy on the radar, you get more points for them. It's usually a darker color, so white is the lowest score, then you get yellow and orange and things, and red. Red is usually your targets. But the one I think it's the first time they show up, they have the most points. And I went to try and kill one, and I managed to hit one with a missile twice, and it just flew away. And I was following it. I started following it all the way up the map, and it was like just going away from the combat area. So I got the impression that you can't physically kill them. They're invincible. Like, if you do manage to get some hits on them, they just fly away.
I'd have to check that. But anyway, the cutscene I'm talking about is when you finally kill Yellow 13. So Yellow 13 has this co-pilot, Yellow 14 or Yellow 4, who carries around this handkerchief, and she took off, like when the city was being attacked, she took off in a plane that was in disrepair and ended up getting shot down. Yellow 13 still had her handkerchief, and he's like, well, that was her own fucking fault for going up in a plane that was in disrepair. So he held on to this handkerchief. And then when you shoot down Yellow 13, the little boy on the ground sees the plane explode in the sky, and he's like, and his body disappeared into the air, but this pink handkerchief floated down, and I caught... So stupid.
The faint smell of perfume.
Yeah.
We buried it.
We're in a berry handkerchief.
And I buried my feelings.
Push it down.
No, further.
But why are we burying a handkerchief? We just are. Shut the fuck up.
It's symbolic.
But this
So are you guys
makes no sense.
So are you guys aware that in each of the levels there is a secret ace pilot?
Yes.
That you can fight that doesn't show up on the radar. Yeah, I didn't. I'm just reading this now.
How are you meant to find them?
You have to find them. They're in a certain part of the map. So yeah, they appear at certain parts of the map, and you have to find them, and then you beat them. I presume if you get them all, you unlock something, Eric?
Yes. So
Nobody got time for that.
That's how you get the third paint scheme. So each airplane comes with 3 paint schemes. The first one is just default. The second paint scheme is unlocked by completing a certain mission with an A or an S ranking. You have to then purchase that paint scheme, which costs the exact same amount as the airplane. So if you go back in, if you've completed it with an A or an S, you go back in to purchase a plane, you go over one, and then a little box will show up underneath it where you can go down and choose that paint scheme.
Did you find with some missions that the scoring system was weird? Like, for example, on some of them it was like a 3,000 points to get C, and then on another one you kind of ended up with an A rank just by doing the story.
Well, they give you a minimum requirement of points that you need to get, and once you hit that minimum requirement, that's a C. So if the minimum requirement is 3,500, that's a C. If the minimum requirement is 1,200, that's a C.
I know, I understand how it works. I'm just saying on some ones which were more story based, it went up really quickly.
Yeah, because it was a lower
No, but there's not necessarily one where you had to, for example, you get a mission where you have to bomb a city, which takes a long time to get up your score, and then there's certain other ones where it's just like, there's a story beat where you have to attack these 4 planes, and then you get an A rank.
Yeah, if you shut down all 4 planes.
But you have to, otherwise you fail.
I don't know, Dan. I didn't design it. Anyway, the third paint scheme is unlocked by defeating
should
one
have
of
done.
the 18 aces that appear in each mission after completing the campaign mode once. So I don't think those aces show up until you've beaten the game once.
Do they have a different designation or something so you know that they're aces?
Let me see. I'm going to read about them right here.
Doodaloo, doodaloo.
No, all it says here is that, yeah, the 18 Eurasian aces appear in each mission on normal and above difficulty after completing the campaign mode once.
Once
Yes.
was enough.
You'll also notice that the flagship airplane that's on the cover, the F-22 Raptor, was not actually purchasable in the game immediately.
I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Me either. I haven't even looked at
Don't tell me what I will and what won't notice.
So
You're not
it
my
was-
real dad.
It was titled the XO2 Wyvern, and it's unlocked by earning an S rank on all normal difficulty missions and playing the game twice.
A swank.
Yeah.
I
I like
am
that
playing through
last
this
airplane
twice.
in the game. That last airplane in the game is super fucking squirrely. The one with the big forward swept wings.
Is that the one you can purchase just before the last mission?
Yeah, it's the last plane you can buy.
Yeah. I didn't buy most of them, to be honest. I bought one every now and again. And
See, I would buy
Sold the
certain
old
planes
one?
according to what type of mission it needed, and then I'd switch back and forth between them. So if
Yeah,
you had one that was
but-
primarily
I just used the same one and
ground-based,
used the missiles for everything.
But once you get towards the top tier planes, like they're pretty good for air and ground anyway. And it's just a case of upgrading to the next one to get that little bit better. So the next one might have a little bit better stability and the one below it have a bit better speed. But generally, the air-to-air combat and the air-to-ground generally went up as you went up.
yeah, and you can use the air-to-air missiles to fire into the ground too.
Yeah, which I did most of the time, to be honest.
Yeah, the bombs were too hard to direct, I thought.
You got a circle. You press circle when that circle's over the enemy, and it fires a bomb at it.
Yeah, but you have to get the
But for
circle.
me, when you drop a bomb, it would just go straight down. It made no sense.
It was the long-range air-to-ground homing missiles that you got later on that were the tits.
Yeah.
You only get about 14, though, don't you?
Yeah, but then you go back to the runway and get some more.
Yeah,
Well,
Dan.
that's a faff.
I'm just going to crash into the ground and start the mission over.
Yeah. I like
That'll
the
be
idea.
so mellowed
I like
out.
the idea of these ace pilots just miles away from the map. Like it's probably Eric if he got through flight school, just flying away from everything. Go wee,
Babe!
babe, put her in pay.
Firing missiles off to nowhere. Missile shot trashed.
Fox 2, Fox 2. So what did Fox 2 mean?
It's just the designation of where the missile is on your wing.
Huh?
Most jets can carry four missiles. So Fox 1, Fox 2,
Well,
Fox 3, Fox 4.
my jet could carry 72 missiles.
I know, but it would be stupid if you went Fox 1 and then, like, 40 missiles later, Fox 45. You probably didn't have the budget for that. If you watch, if you look at it from
Must be a
third
big
person,
plane.
if you look at it from third person in some of the later jets where the missiles come out from the bottom of it, like this little bay door will open and a missile drop out and fire and then close and then just continually, it's like they stuffed 75 missiles up in the guts of this plane.
Yeah.
I call bullshit.
Although I'm pleased because I wouldn't have had to like to go back to base all the time. There's one mission where it makes you go back to base, and all the rest of them you don't have to bother afterwards.
I think they were just showing you, weren't they?
Yeah. Show you that you can do it.
Yeah. You
So-
can. They believe in you, Dan. That's why. You can do it.
Oh, had they lovely.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
I
old
believe in you as
Namco.
well.
So in all, what did you guys think?
Bloody shite.
Oh, shut up. God.
I started off thinking I was going to hate it. The repetitive missions were just that. They were repetitive and a bit of a slog because I felt like I was just doing the same thing over and over. The more exciting missions were where this game's sort of bread and butter is, and the points where when you kind of get a proper hang of the controls and you're swooping down, firing some missiles, firing some bombs, taking a few things out, then flying up and managing to take a plane out, you feel like an absolute badass. And those are the key moments of this game, and they're the moments of it that I will remember. It's not a terrible game. It's not my sort of thing. I think if it was a little faster, less simish, maybe I'd probably like it a bit more. I am intrigued to check out later games in the series just to see what they're like. I mean, Ace Combat 7 has got VR, hasn't it?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to have that by the time you guys get here, and I'm going to buy a true, actual hands-on throttle and stick so you can fly it like a real jet. Yeah, I can't
be cool.
wait.
God, that's going to be awful.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a little bit of a slog in places. It's not something I would choose to play, but hell, it was a hell of a lot better than some of the games we played for the show last year. So
I think you'd actually be kind of interested in Ace Combat Assault Horizon for PS3. They've stepped it up a little bit and made it a lot more action based. So you have these really cool sequences where you can I can't remember the technical term for what happens with it, but you can lock onto an enemy and then press a button and you automatically start to follow it, and you go through this series of quick time events where you're firing things and you have to follow them through, weaving through buildings and under bridges, and it's automatically controlling it as long as you're keeping up with the button prompts to it. So it kind of gives you this little cinematic chase cam.
Though.
It's super cool. It's really
I
cool.
don't mind QTEs. I think QTEs get a bad rap.
They're all right if they're done in moderation, but if they're overbearing, it kind of takes the control away from you, I feel. But I didn't really think it was bloody shite. Like I said earlier, I thought I went through probably the same phase as Mike, where I got a bit frustrated with it, couldn't get to grips with the controls, kind of kept crashing, and then finally turned the corner with it, and actually the last few missions kind of liked it. Like Mike says, you feel like a complete badass where you're swooping by, shoot like 4 missiles off at 4 things, blow them up, blow up a plane in the sky, come back for tea. You know, it's all good.
Get your peas put in.
Aye.
Yeah,
I did that last mission. I know I ragged on it for stealing, like ripping off Star Wars, but the way it ripped off Star Wars, and then when I went into those tunnels to go like fire on the generators, because it reminded me of Star Wars so much, I actually enjoyed it because of it.
Well, yeah, I remember the first time I played it, I'm sitting here going, well, shit, how do I do this? How do I shoot these things down? And then you first realize, like, oh, shit, I have to fly my plane through that tunnel? And if you look
if you listen to the briefing at the beginning of the level, it tells you that, Eric.
First time that I played it as a kid.
Yeah, did you not listen to the briefing at the beginning that I bet you skipped?
Yeah, my name's Eric Piz and I don't listen to things on video games.
Help me out, Tom.
I didn't.
Fucking hypocrite.
Good lord. I'm trying to make a point and how cool it is to realize the first time, like, oh shit, I have to fly through these tunnels. And if you look from third person, your wings do barely fit in there.
Yeah, the first time I tried going through, I switched to third person because I thought it might help. It didn't help.
No.
I should have tried cockpit view. I reckon that would have been more fun.
Yeah.
Like, I always play driving games in the first person view. Don't know about you guys.
No,
Did you ever play Tokka touring cars on the PS1?
Yes,
Tom,
I had
where
it,
you
I
had
got
the
it for
first person
Christmas
view of
one
that.
year.
And
Yeah.
you actually had the hands on the glove, and if you unlocked I think it was like a pink Cadillac you'd unlock, you'd drive it one-handed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had that
Amazing.
tank
Have
as
any
well
of
that
you
you could
tried,
unlock.
Have any of you tried Drive Club in VR?
Yes, it's awesome.
No.
Oh, I tried the demo and it's so cool.
I bought it when it
Drive
was like
Club was
$6.
free to download anyway.
He may have
Is the
missed
demo
it.
just on PSN for free?
Yeah, there's a demo. There's a demo. It's quite hard to find on the PSN where it has a load of VR games on it.
Do you not just go to the search bar and put Drive Club?
No, because it's a demo disc. It's like basically a demo disc of PSVR. It has loads of different things, and you can select them.
Oh, okay.
So it's got like it's got Healy Lion.
Check your PS Plus, Tom, because I'm
had,
sure they gave it away on PS Plus.
Okay.
If you
shall
snagged it.
Does that come with the VR though? Is it not a separate game?
I think it does.
I think it comes with it too.
To Google.
It's got Thumper on there, Tom. Try in VR.
I have
where I
that
tried
demo
it.
disc, actually. I got it with the bundle. Bundle!
Bundle!
So I think I have the disc. But I might be... I'll find out.
It's got a few other things on there, like Mechanized Combat League and things like that.
Oh yeah,
Rigs.
Yeah, Rigs, that's the one. That's quite a one for when you've got your VR legs, I think. It's a bit intense.
Oh no, Dan, you're right. It is. Yeah, it's a standalone
I thought it
VR
was.
one. Yeah, you're right.
Gran Turismo in VR is really cool too. But nevertheless,
Are
I'm
they
excited.
compatible with the like steering wheel controllers? Because that would just be amazing.
I think so. I don't know. I know that the steering wheel controller I have is not compatible with PS4, so I can't try it.
That's a shame.
Sort it out, Eric. Jesus, letting the side down.
Yeah, could you please get that?
Yeah, but it was really cool. I was when I was driving past people in it, and like I just stick my finger up at them as you go past, and things that makes you feel better.
Proper Ronnie.
I made the guy at the Harry Potter tour laugh because I stuck my fingers up while I was riding the broomstick. They have this green screen bit of the Harry Potter tour where you get on the actual broomstick and you can then get a video after.
That.
And then you can get a video of it afterwards of you like near the green screen. Looks like you're flying over things and stuff like that. And the guy who's like there is like a guy who clearly really fucking hates his job and is like, yeah, you're flying over this. Yeah. Oh, look, there's a Death Eater. Like just that kind of thing. I just started like sticking my fingers up at this Death Eater. They actually got a crack out of it. Like cracked a smile out of him. I don't think the parents of all the kids nearby were impressed.
I don't think so. There's usually a lot of kids there.
Why is that guy on a broomstick holding his fingers up, mummy?
Is this at the Warner Brothers thing in London?
Yeah.
I didn't know you'd been.
Yeah.
Yes,
Had a
me
butterbeer.
too.
It was lovely.
Eric, did
Yeah.
you actually buy that game, The American Dream, for
I
PSVR?
did.
Have you tried it?
I'm through the infant stage.
Okay.
Please, one of you
terrible.
explain to the listeners what the American Dream is, because
Yeah,
it looks
there's a-
hilarious.
I've never played it. I found it on the PSN store, and I just thought the screenshots just looked hilarious. It looks like 50s America with like guns and barbecues and
Yeah, it's the American dream. You do everything with a gun. You want to.
The man on the picture is literally doing a barbecue while holding a pistol while a child is standing next to him. I can't believe it managed
So the
to even
game
get
starts
on
off
the
with
PSN.
the player, being born into your crib, and the first thing your mom does is come in and hand you 2 pistols.
Oh my god!
And then to get her attention, you have to shoot at the door, and then she comes in and feeds you. You could shoot at your mobile around, and it's just how you interact with the world. It's so fucking funny.
oh, that's amazing.
Eric Peterson, the game.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah. So
Nice.
that's Ace Combat. I'm definitely excited for Ace Combat 7 to launch. It's been way too long. The last one came out, Jesus, 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Yeah. I'd like to give it a bit of a whirl at your house, and then I'll see.
Yeah.
And then I'll also play
My
Ace Combat
interest.
7 as well.
Yeah.
Lost on you, Wolf.
You're talking about my dick.
Yeah.
I think we've had our fill of dick jokes this week, Mike. Sorry.
We hit our quota way too
Some
early.
of us don't get our holes filled as often as you, Daniel.
So, Mike, I posted a video here. The first one I posted is a QuickTime event.
It is very often.
The first video I posted is a QuickTime event where you have to press a button to make your guy do a fist bump into the air, and that's all it is. But it's called Dogfight Mode for Assault Horizon, and it's super cool. So give it a
Okay.
watch.
I'll check that out maybe sometime when we're not recording.
You
Yeah.
can see the menu better.
Yeah.
It's always a plus.
It's like they learned how to improve their game.
Well done, Liam.
So, yeah. Guys, do we have any questions?
We had one literally come in under the wire like 10 minutes ago from Santos Lopez, but I think we may have actually covered most of it already. He said on Facebook, so how did this game stand up to the test of time, and is it a series you recommend? And on a side note, can Tom finally sit Eric down and explain the greatness of Amiga to him?
Don't think so.
Don't think so. To which one?
The Amiga. I don't understand it.
I can explain it. I need to be with you in person, and I can explain it to you.
Okay, explain it.
So we'll do that.
Well, if you could explain it to him during the video game challenge, that would be spectacular.
Yeah, please do.
No, he's on my team.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to do.
Damn it, he's seen through my logic.
No, so to address his question, I think it's definitely held up. I went back to play Ace Combat 3 Electrosphere a little bit after I'd beaten this one. That one actually still holds up really well, too, for being a PlayStation 1 era flight sim game. Obviously, the graphics are a little clunky on it, but still it flies the same way as Ace Combat 4. But I don't know, I just had such really positive memories of this game that maybe for me, I've got it on a little bit more of a pedestal than it deserves.
The in-engine cutscenes reminded me of MGS2. They felt similar in a way. I don't know why. Just the way they moved and things like that, like the animation. It was strange.
There weren't
the
too many of
fighter
those,
jet
though.
on that and things.
I feel like that. I know what you mean. I know what you're trying to say, and I think that maybe that's just kind of that era of PS2 games as well.
Yeah.
Like they all kind of look like that. I mean, nothing really looks as stunning as MGS2, but the way it moves is what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has this weird kind of fluidity to it that you don't. That like you used to see always on like the arcade cabinets. I think.
Yes, I think that's what I mean. It's hard to explain.
I don't know, for you guys who've never played it, do you think it's held up?
Yeah, it was an alright game. Like Mike said, we played some absolute shite last year, and that's off to a better start already. So.
We're trying to plan out our list. We don't have an entire list done, but maybe we can roll through a few of the upcoming games here to give people a taste of what's coming up. Next show, obviously, is going to be our Phoenix Live show. Roughly the 27th. No, we're probably going to do it Monday the 28th. Monday the 28th, because the 27th will be at Royal Rumble. So after that, we're doing.
You were planning it for the Tuesday after the Rumble.
Yeah, we can do that either way.
Tuesday.
Whatever's fine.
Well, we can't need to decide because if it's going to be a live show, then
yeah, we'll figure that out.
look out on the social media.
Yeah, that probably won't hit iTunes or whatever you listen to it on until almost that following weekend, because I'm not going to take any time to edit that while everybody's here. But after that, we're actually listed up through about September. So we've got Ghostbusters for the Mega Drive, followed by Gex.
I wonder who put that in.
Gecko. We're going to do some Halo Combat Evolved, then Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay, Zone of the Enders, Mickey Mania, Timeless Adventure of Mickey Mouse, Fable, A Boy and His Blob. Then our big RPG of the year, we're going to tackle the original Kingdom Hearts.
What? Ready for our minds to explode.
And then we've got a few shows to fill in, and then we're going to do some Luigi's Mansion. Which, Mike, let me talk about this for a second. I was going to bring this up earlier. This week, Target was doing a fire sale on their original, or like their 3DS Player's Choice games for $4.99. And I went to a ton of Targets and just couldn't find any of them. And finally, there's a Target way out of town that I stopped at to grab something, and they had Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. So I picked it up for $5. And what a fantastic game. I'd never played the original Luigi's Mansion. Always wanted to, just never got around to it. Popped this one, and it's just brimming with atmosphere. I love the gameplay style of it. But last night, after I beat Ace Combat, I was looking through my GameCube games and saw that I had the original Luigi's Mansion. No idea that I'd actually purchased it.
There's a surprise.
Yeah. Oh dear, Eric.
So I looked at Chrissy.
Think of
I'm
all
like,
them games I can open in a week.
looked at Chrissy. I'm like, did you buy this? So then I looked back through the Facebook page, and sure enough, in June I'd posted a picture of me buying it. Just no idea. I have a sickness.
Amazing.
So, but yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But we should probably wrap up here because we need to save some bandwidth space for our mega live show coming up at the end of the month. So,
Alrighty.
Look out on
guys,
the social media for all the info on our live stream.
you're going to be here in 10 days.
Have we talked about the live stream?
We have.
Oh yeah, last episode.
Yeah, we've been talking about Are you talking about the game challenge?
Yes.
Yeah, the challenge.
Yeah. So don't forget, the 26th, starting at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we're going to begin doing our game challenge / playing games with everybody / like however many hours of live streaming. We're going to have raffles with giveaways. I posted something on our Facebook page that explains a little bit more about it. As we get closer, we'll be posting more stuff. But yeah, come on out. Watch us on Twitch. We're going to be having a good time giving stuff away. It's been neat to see the response. There's a lot of people that are really looking forward to it.
Me too, actually.
Well, I hope you would.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got to improve my Beat Saber skills even more.
You better get your beating up to par for when you get here, because we are going to do a ton of beating. Off. Beating off.
I see what you did there.
That's another dick joke, guys.
Yeah.
Edna, put another tally on the dick joke chart.